able to wear undergarments? If
You're
you
the fifth person that's asked me
no,
that today.
because
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other in interviews about their underwear?
No, because it is such a skin tight.
I'll leave it up to your imagination.
Oh, see?
Okay?
Is that
whatever you feel like I should be wearing or not wearing under that costume?
This is not a.
Is what I.
What
kind of interview is this?
Now, for the purposes of this analysis, I'm not going to completely compare this incredible film with this obviously inferior original. In case you didn't quite catch that, that was sarcasm. This version is toilet water. Now, I may pick out a few moments that are comparative and compare them, but I will treat this movie like it wanted to be treated, something new and special. Starring that incredible chameleon of an actress, Scarlett Johansson, who in this film shall be playing an Asian. Kind of, it's complicated, but not really. Michael Carmen Pitt. Who the fuck is that? I know Michael Pitt. Great actor. But Michael Carmen Pitt? Beat Katano. Legend. Listen, as a disclaimer, I love Scarlett Johansson. Under the right grip, she's a great actress. But when she doesn't care, well, you get this.
It's okay, just breathe. Just breathe.
Is that how you wake up? Is that the best we can do with the waking up? Is that the best take you've got? It's terrible, isn't it? Now, okay, let's talk about the filmmaking here. Trash. Absolute trash. We have a really badly lit close-up on the incredible Juliette Binoche, and then this really boring overhead mid on Scarlett. Honestly, this should be 2 tight shots.
We made you a new body. A synthetic shell.
Oh, God. Now, I don't know if you've seen Juliette Binoche in anything else. I'm thinking of one film specifically, which is called Clouds of Sils and Maria, also starring Kirsten Stewart, who we're going to come to in a bit, but for now we'll stick to Juliette. It's a movie about an actress who's disillusioned by the industry because she keeps getting asked to play superhero roles or star in crappy sci-fi films. Now, that film was made 3 years prior to this film. The irony. And her performance here suggests this was just a cash-in-hand job. She does not care. She's phoning this in. Now, let's get it straight here. This film is trash, but there are some nice visual moments. This being one of them. Okay, that's enough. Okay, Beat Katano is honestly one of the greatest actors. If you've not watched Hanabi or Battle Royale, get on it. Both are absolute classics. You would probably prefer Battle Royale. I prefer Hanabi. So the fact that they've already, just 10 minutes in, already used Juliette Binoche and Beat Katano, and one is barely acting and the other is talking full Japanese, just says everything about this film. It's all over the place, trying to fit square pegs into round holes.
西アレン大統領のために会場は予約されている。オズモンドがハンガの主催者のようだ。
Got it. 43rd floor.
She's a bloody robot. Now, ignore my terminology. In this scene here, this comic book bad guy tells this other comic book bad guy that his daughter's learned another language in seconds. And this robot can't speak Japanese as well as English. Make it make sense. Now, if this new technology that this interestingly bad man has given to his daughter to make her speak another language in such a quick amount of time has not been implemented into a cyborg/robot that can be regenerated from death, then I really don't know what's going on here. Listen, I just want to state again that I do love Scarlett Johansson, but there are so many reasons she doesn't have to be cast in this role, this being one of them.
6 men, shots fired.
She has the complete wrong voice for this role. Which is kind of ironic because a few years earlier she was playing the voice of an AI robot who was in love with Joaquin Phoenix. But in this it does not work. It's just that word again, trash. Right, now have you seen the original film? Because this is a really iconic moment, along with some other iconic moments. Okay, spot the difference. Why is one so good and why is one so bad?
Heard this speech before from your competitor.
We have this really strange synth music, which is driving, and when I say driving, I say with a sense of deliberation, but driving the scene, and then the jump. In the original, we have this.
What? The police here?
A quiet, characters plotting something, underhanded.
World has woken up to the age of cyber enhancement. You really want to be left behind.
My people embrace cyber enhancement, as do I.
And here we have a diverse bunch of people sitting around having a loud meeting like they're at a UN conference. Listen, I love a bit of diversity, obviously. And quite frankly, one of the criticisms of anime and manga is that there is a lack of it. But so far in the film we've had a French, Japanese, American, Danish, British, and a nondescript African accent. I guess all the boxes had to be ticked, and they certainly are ticked. Now, look at this. This scene's cool, right? Right? Well, not for me. It kind of misses the point of the original scenario.
Tree is a peace-loving democracy.
Of course it is.
The window! Shoot! I don't believe it. Thermoptic camouflage.
Again, the original. There is a degree of espionage, hence the...
Thermoptic camouflage.
And here we have... What is the point of the...
Thermoptic camouflage.
In this scene? So yes, the scene might look pretty, and the scene might get the blood pumping, but it is also illogical and pointless. And remember, the anime is an anime, so this isn't about what can and can't be done in terms of technicals. It would be actually easier to animate that sequence than film it. It's more about what one scene is doing and what the other scene is so desperately trying to do and not say. One's going, look at me, I'm really cool and I'm wearing a lovely cool jacket and I'm wearing these lovely pink trainers. And the other one's going, you don't need to look at me, I'm amazing. I'll let you work out which one's doing what.
You're not the same. Hey.
It's just a robot.
Oh, what was that? That just walked into us. We didn't see walking into us, even though it was right in front of us. Okay, so we're 15 minutes into the film, and already our character has a crisis in confidence about her identity. The problem is, as the audience, we don't give a shit, because we don't even know who she is. What are her personality traits? What does she want? In the original, all of these beats are perfectly timed. In this film, we are left thinking, okay.
So what do we have on Osmond?
So far, very little. He was the head of Hanker's robotics division. Human, but of course cyber enhanced.
Ah, new accent alert. Listen, I live in London, have done all my life. The amount of women I hear talking with a Cockney accent is zero. The amount of women I've heard in my whole life talking with a Cockney accent is maybe 3, and none of them worked for a company who specialised in cybernetics and espionage, and none of them were 20-something. They look like this. They sound like this.
Phil won't bother next time. Oh, me and Phil. You've forgotten what real life's like since you become a Mitchell.
And this is what happens when you try and be stupidly and illogically diverse. Because I can guarantee that actress does not speak like that off camera. Now, what is this obsession with giving British women in movies and TV shows this annoying Cockney accent? Hollywood, no one talks like this.
Been up for a while. Now it's last call every night.
You got enhanced so you can drink more?
Embrace the enhancements, Togasa. We wouldn't be here without it.
Granted, some guys do talk like that, but again, none of them work for a company that specialises in espionage. It doesn't work, does it? That walk! Look at that walk. Okay, listen, I get it. She's not human per se. Thusly, she wouldn't walk like a human, but this walk... I mean, honestly, not even that makes any sense. Okay, so listen. Imagine I'm an inventor, and I build a robot to be a human, but I don't make it mimic the movements of a human. Why would I do that? I may as well just build a dinosaur, do more damage. I mean, this makes more sense. A gritty city with really robotic machines. It makes sense that they're quite basic and raw.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
In a world where they have
thermoptic camouflage,
this walk makes no sense. You'd want to mimic humanity as much as possible. It's just trash. And maybe this is the actor's choice to help the actor integrate into character, but it's still trash.
I will find him, and I will kill him.
Guys, do we have another take of this shot? I'm just going through all the footage here. I'm just wondering, do we have another take of this shot? Nah, mate. We only did one. Really? Yeah. You wanted to go to lunch early. Yeah. It's all good. Use it.
Cut, print, perfect. Let's move on.
It's what I am built for, isn't it?
And again, I want to point something out. Forget the fact that she should be able to speak Japanese and doesn't, which is just rude. Forget that. I get that she can understand him, but how does he understand her? How does he understand her? It doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? This is what happens when you cast actors for the sake of it. You then need to change your narrative to suit. And I'm going to come back to that in a big way later on. But in most cases, it makes no bloody sense, mate. Oh, look at that. It's as if we're related.
I guess privacy is just for humans. You are human. People see you as human.
Do they, though?
Are you finished yet?
If you hadn't riddled the geisha with bullets, this would be much easier.
Another accent. Just what this film needs. I love this city. It's so diverse and forward-thinking. It's magnificent. I can only hope that one day I can live in a city of such incredible diversity. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're in a highly flammable environment. Do you want to cut it out with the old cigarette smoke in there, my dear? Now, it had occurred to me 13 minutes into this film that it was devoid of any humour. I mean, that's okay. It's a dystopian sci-fi flick. Humour is not needed. The future is now. The future is shit. And then we are greeted with this joke.
You're not here looking for any trouble, are you?
I'm just here for the girls and the beer.
And the film remains devoid of any humour.
Can I help you?
I'm looking for someone.
You've been here before.
Okay, so what the fuck happened to this guy? What injury or cosmetic enhancement took place in order for this to happen? What, he was eating pussy and his fucking jaw fell off?
Are you insufficiently funded, Mr. Aramaki? Is Section 9 missing some critical operational resource?
必要なものは全て揃っております。
Major is our most sophisticated weapon, only if she's intact. And Dr. Ule informed me that you let her dive a corrupted geisha.
Right. So we're still doing this. He speaks Japanese and the other guy perfectly understands a bit. Okay, hey, sure, lovely, let's do this.
What does that feel like?
I've been confused about why these films that feature cyborgs, robots, and the such have this obsession with the Pinocchio story. The robot really wants to be human, because being human is so freaking cool, isn't it, guys? The way we get old and die. The way we get diseases and die. The way we're tempted by immorality consistently. The way we're all broken shells of our past generations. Listen, for me, robots and cyborgs are the next step of evolution. Just like we were the next step in evolution from cavemen. And I've never wanted to be a bloody caveman. In fact, I thank my lucky stars that by the grace of God or science, I've been born in this century. Because I would not want or enjoy to be a caveman. There's no washing, there's no deodorant, there's no toothpaste, there's no food, really, per se, kinda. I mean, you can't have gyozas as a caveman, can you? And the lack of diversity as a caveman would be alarming if I was woke. So why the hell would a robot want to be human? So they can feel emotions, Marcus, I hear someone say. Well, now they often say that your biggest strength is typically also your weakest strength. Well, that's definitely the case for humans. Emotions are the reasons for infidelity, irrationality, and world wars. Emotions fuel ego. Egos fuel bad behavior. Robots don't have that issue. They are clean-cut and rational. Trust me, they do not want to be human. No more than I want to be a fly. Speaking of flies, have you seen this film? It's a film about a man who is reincarnated as the fly and comes back to exact revenge on his enemies. Genius!
Hey, Nanika! Someone tell na yadurga rara!
బిందు జోలికి రావద్దు చంపేస్తా
Better than this crap I'm currently analysing, I'll tell you that. Maybe I should stop analysing this crap and watch this instead. Please? No, you don't want me to do that? Okay, fine. Back to the crap.
Look at me.
Stop smoking in highly flammable areas.
From me.
Okay, scene comparison time again. This is another iconic scene from the original film. So in the original film, again, some glaring differences.
God, they found out! That guy who helped me, I've got to warn him! Listen, we're gonna have to pass up the next pickup.
Firstly, yet again, no music in the original. And it's brilliant. It allows the scene to play out quite chillingly. It lends a sense of mystery to the moment. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of music in films anyway, unless it's diegetic. Now I understand there are some legendary film composers like John Williams and Hans Zimmer and Jack Horner who've crafted some of the best music ever for films, and some of the best music ever. So I'm not saying that there shouldn't be music in films. I'm just saying that I'm not the hugest fan of it. I feel like sometimes some filmmakers use them as a crutch to mask bad filmmaking. Oh, you should feel sad here, or oh, you should feel happy here, or this moment is suspenseful. And that's what this film is doing. This action is important. Feel something. it completely gets the scene wrong. I've attempted not to bash British director Rupert Sanders too much so far. In fact, I don't think I really bashed him at all, apart from maybe criticising a couple of the shots at the beginning of the film. His credits so far are this film and Snow White and The Huntsman, where he did this.
I've seen you like this. What's the problem?
Well, I don't know if you follow the news at all, but there's this actress, Kristen Stewart, okay? And she goes by K-Stu. And
she goes by K-Stu?
Yeah, and she had a boyfriend, right? And Robert Patterson, and she cheated on him. And and they're broken up. They're not gonna get back together ever. And
I'm sorry.
And what they had was so special, Conan. You don't even know what they had. They were in love, and she just threw it all away.
Okay, well,
I don't know if there was anything I could have done to prevent it, I don't know what it means to the Twilight franchise. I just don't know.
I'm sure it's gonna be fine.
It's not gonna be fine, ever! It's never gonna be fine! What they had was so special, you don't even know! You would never know.
Well, you don't never know! I've been in love!
Oh, not like them! Not like them!
Never seen you.
She is a trampire. That's what she is.
That's horrible.
She's a trampire.
Now, of course, much like my little speech about humanity earlier on, we're all full of flaws. So there's no way in the world I'm going to sit here and deride him for a personal mistake that he made in his life when he cheated on his wife. And, well, you know, it's got nothing to do with his filmmaking skills. Now, he plied his trade under the wings of Tony Kaye. He of American History X fame.
The film is good. It begins to probe and explore. Had I been permitted to complete my work, the film would have been great. My vision of the film never made it to the screen because Edward Norton, the actor, was permitted by the producers to edit and alter the film, increasing the role of his own performance while decreasing the integrity of the picture. But when I asked for my name to be removed from the picture, which impacts so much on free speech, my own union, the Directors Guild of America, refused to permit me to withdraw my name.
So I guess what I'm trying to say here, in a roundabout way, is, well, nothing really, to be honest with you. I just don't know Sanders' work well enough to have or provide a personal or general critique of it. I've only really seen this film to judge him by. Now, if I had to judge him solely based on this film, I would say that he has an obvious eye for visuals, he has a generic eye for action, and this scene shows that off perfectly because the action here is substandard. It doesn't have a visual language to it, and this scene is arguably more important than the last scene comparison. And this particular moment in the water is one of the most famous anime scenes of all time. Now don't get it wrong, this scene in itself actually isn't shot bad, and it's actually not a bad scene. It's not poorly directed at all. It has some really nice, obvious visual moments. Apart from this, we already know that she has camouflage. You showed that to us quite a few times previously. It's not a big revelation. We don't need to see it again. Now, this is how the two scenes end.
Where's Cruzay? Why does he want to kill Ulay?
I don't know anything.
Enough!
Enough! We need him alive.
Got him, huh? Well, the breach in the barrel really screwed up. That's what happens when you use HV bullets in one of these things. Oh, yeah.
It's no use arresting me. I'm not talking to any goddamn cops.
Talk? And just what are you gonna talk about? You don't even know your own name, you stupid dickhead.
Huh? Can you remember your mother's name or what she looks like? Or how about where you were born? Don't you have any happy childhood memories? Do you even know who you are?
Ghost hacked humans are so pathetic, it's a shame. And this poor bastard's been hacked pretty badly.
One is fantastic, and the other one is just generic. Refreshing. And geez, that music, annoying AF. Yeah, I'm cool. Like I say, annoying AF, that's okay. Alright, don't worry. Now, if you didn't know, the lead character's name is Major. Scarlett Johansson plays Major. Now, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I didn't. So you can always watch this video again. It's great for runtime, for me. So Major finds out that her memories aren't actually hers. This doctor has purposely manipulated her for blah blah blah. The Michael Carmen Pitts character was the original version of Major until he was abandoned and blah blah blah. This film is soulless, it's worthless, but its biggest crime is that it's so boring. So anyway, the Doctor is ordered to terminate Major because she knows too much about, well, too much and blah. She obviously doesn't do this, and then she's obviously killed, and, you know, obviously she's a mentor character, so she has to die. It's script writing 101. And then we follow Major to this scene, where the Major, see what I did there? Problem with the film comes into play. It's whitewashing of the characters. Yeah, you know I was going to come here. You knew I was coming here, so don't even pretend like you didn't know I was going to come here. This is why I made the video in the first place. Now we're here, we're going to have some fun. Now, before this film was shot, there was plenty of uproar because Scarlett Johansson isn't Asian. I know, shocking. She is in fact white. I know, shocking. In the original manga and the anime, the character of Major, her real name is Mituko Kusanagi, I've definitely butchered that, is Japanese. Now, you know that because it's an anime, and anime are typically Japanese. Now, for some reason, 2015, 16, and 17 seem to be the greatest years for whitewashing. We had Emma Stone portraying a half-Asian character in Aloha, Matt Damon and Finn Jones headlining and front-running Asian stories in The Great War and The Iron Fist. Now remember, this was only 7 to 8 years ago. Ghost in the Shell producer Stephen Paul defended these choices by saying the following: I think everybody is going to end up being really happy with it, apart from Asians and black and whites and South Asians and Latina and mixed race and everyone. Apart from that, everyone's going to be happy with it. He went on to say, I don't think it's just a Japanese story. Ghost in the Shell is a very international story, and it wasn't just focused on Japanese. It's supposed to be the entire world. Interesting. And then, director Rupert Sanders, the wonderful director of the film, said the following about the casting of Scarlett Johansson, the best actress of my generation and her generation, and the person I felt most embodied the physicality and the ability to inhabit the role. He went on to say, the Major is a cyborg, and her physical form is entirely an assumed one. The name Mituko Kusanagi and her current body are not her original name and body, so there's no basis for saying that an Asian actress must portray her. Okay, Rupert. If that's your opinion, we're gonna go with your opinion. Let's deconstruct your opinion, shall we? If her current body and mind are not the same, then going by your logic, the body could actually be black then, right? Or Latina, or South Asian, or maybe just Asian. Just putting it out there. Why did she need to be white? Johansson is the best actress of her generation. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and debate that. She may well be that. Indeed. She may well be the best actress of her generation. I mean, there's a lot of competition, but she may well be the best actress of her generation. But so fucking what, dude? This was the year 2015. Directors like Bong Joon-ho and Park Chan-wook were and are better directors than you, and they are Asian. They are better directors of your generation than you are. Surely by that way of logic, they should direct the film instead of you. Because you're the best at something, you shouldn't just be allowed to do whatever you want. Cristiano Ronaldo is potentially the best soccer player. I say soccer for my American viewers. It's football. It's potentially the best football player in the world. It doesn't mean he should be allowed to play American football. What's your logic here, my friend? Can't wait to see Daniel Day-Lewis announce he's coming out of retirement to play Rosa Parks. Yo, bro, what is your logic here? Say less, do you hear me, blood? So anyway, back to the film. This scene is the scene where they justify the casting of Scarlett Johansson, a scene that lasts nearly 5 minutes and did not have to exist if you just cast an Asian actress in the bloody role. Also, if you replaced Rupert Sanders with, for example, Park Chan-wook or Bong Joon-ho. Now let's take it back to when this film first came out. There's me in the cinema watching this film, and at this point, my eyes roll back so far into my head you would think I'm auditioning for the next Exorcist film. Honestly, Hollywood, fuck you. I switched off at this point. And obviously didn't switch off the cinema projector. I just switched off mentally during the screening in the cinema, and it also happened here when I was analysing the film. But what really happens here is Scarlett Johansson, because I refuse to call her Major anymore, saves Michael Carmen Pitt from annihilation and destroys her evil overlords, and then she goes back to this random Asian mother who was mourning her daughter, and she tells her, you don't need to worry, your daughter's dead. What the f***? That actually happens. You don't need to worry, your daughter's dead. You can stop coming here now. Your daughter's dead. Don't worry about it. What do you mean don't worry about it? What are you talking about? Just honestly, what the absolute fuck? Now, I know for a fact that when the casting of Johansson got backlash, they changed the script to incorporate this pathetic backstory. They ended up shooting extra footage and changing the script just to keep Johansson in the role, other than cast an Asian actress. But let's face it, that wouldn't have solved the problem, because I count just 2 actors in this film that are actually Asian. I'm sure there's more, but there's 2 recognizable actors that are actually Asian in an Asian story. And when you say it's not an Asian story, Mr. Producer, I'm sorry, it is. And I know there will be people saying right now, Marcus, they had to get bums on seat, so casting a well-known actress was key. Well, to that I say bullshit. But to be more mature about it, and to provide a cogent argument, I would say this. My friend, that is bullshit. In the year 2000, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon made $214 million on a $17 million budget. I won't even adjust for inflation, because the argument, just by those numbers, is already won. You see, in 2017, Ghost in the Shell made $169 million on a $110 million budget. With marketing costs being anywhere between $50 to $100 million, the film either made $0 profit or a significant loss. In 2022, another Asian-led story, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, made $143 million on a $14 million budget. So I could go on, but I shan't. There are way more examples. This idea that you need a white lead to front an Asian tale or any tale is so outdated. Let's stop with that, shall we? Let's move on. It's been debunked over and 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 over again. It's a lame excuse for whitewashing. Now, moving on from this, because I touched on it before, quite flippantly, but the director could have also have been Asian. There was more than enough wonderful directors who could have done a better job, other than someone who was born in Westminster, Rupert Sanders. Now, I don't know anything about Sanders' wealth status as a child, but if you're from the UK like myself, you know that being born in Westminster is so rare. It's like saying you were born in Buckingham Palace. No one lives in Westminster. Again, that has nothing to do with his directing abilities or how hard he's worked to make it in the industry. But it certainly doesn't hurt to have a leg up in any industry, as you probably know. So Rupert Sanders, maybe stay out of conversations about the race of your lead actress in an Asian story unless you have a better argument that Scarlett Johansson is the best actress of her generation, because it doesn't wash, my friend. Now, I'm going to conclude this video by saying the following. I don't exclusively think you need to be a certain race or gender to tell a story about a certain race or gender. If Christopher Nolan directed a film about slavery, I wouldn't mind. Or if Ava DuVernay directed a film about the dominance of the Vikings, I wouldn't care at all. Telling the story can be hugely personal, so relating to a subject can be an advantage, but sometimes it can also be a disadvantage if you're not able to step back and see things from an objective standpoint. A film I've spoken about on this channel before is Incendies, a Middle Eastern story about war and oppression. Denis Villeneuve is Canadian, French, and white, with no ties to the story at all, but he understands humanity and he's a fantastic director. So he directed the film perfectly. Would I personally direct Schindler's List? Well, probably not, because Steven Spielberg directed Schindler's List and did a great job, and I'm not going to make a remake of Schindler's List. But would I direct a Holocaust story? I definitely would. I find the whole subject deeply heartbreaking, and it affects me hugely whenever I hear tales or see images of it. The fact is, a story can be told by many and experienced by many. It is not just exclusive to one gender or one race. However, whitewashing a tale is a completely different subject altogether. And it's very much similar to what's happening in Hollywood right now. We're in the latter end of a woke washing, where illogical casting decisions are being made to benefit, well, no one. Do not get me started on Bridgerton. It's pathetic. Oh, okay, a little bit dancing, eh? A little bit dancing, alright, that's nice. So slavery didn't exist, yeah? We're just all dancing and falling in love. Fantastic. Fuck right off. Anyway, that's it. Ghost in the Shell, 2017. You have failed the city. Now, piss off, mate.